closer to first place. Under lights the engines scream, this is more than just a dream. Through the asphalt like a beam, racers' hearts with fervor gleam. In this game we find our might, push the pedal like the night. With each lap our spirits flight, racing on with all our might. Trucks flying through the night, NASCAR dreams within our sight. Asphalt heroes in the fight, peacemakers gaming life so bright. Rev it up, feel the pace, speed hounds in grace. Feel the thrill, feel the chase, victory is our holy place. Thrill the place, thrill the place. Throttle down, no time to waste. In this high octane haste, feel the thrill, feel the chase. Victory is our place. Throttle down, no time to waste. In this high octane haste, every corner, every taste leads us closer to first place. Throttle down, no time to waste. In this high octane haste, in this high octane haste, every corner, every taste leads us closer to first place. Under lights the engines scream, this is more than just a dream. Through the asphalt like a beam, racers' hearts with fervor gleam. In this game we find our might, push the pedal like the night. With each lap our spirits flight, racing on with all our might. All our might. Thrill the place, thrill the place, thrill the place.
Friends for Pets!
Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready to go to battle here this afternoon as the HCK Beagles Truck Series is back underway here this afternoon, powered by Friends for Pets and the Juke Joint here for the Support Local Music 150 live from the beautiful Dover International Speedway. As these drivers get ready to rumble, they get ready to go to battle. It's qualifying right now, so drivers jumping out onto the racetrack looking to lay down their quick times here. Looks like majority of the drivers have gotten their laps complete. You see the 88 Ryan just getting done his second lap. There's still a handful or two yet to qualify here in this session, but they have ran out of time as already this race is gritting. Drivers are going to get ready to go to battle as my boy Dimitri, what's good, Mr. Curtis? Dimitri says, let's go, baby. Let's go, Dimitri. Mr. Curtis coming in, showing the love here in this one. K-Dub Kevin Winker coming in as well, says, hopefully we can turn the luck around for the 42 machine. Yeah, a couple tough hits for K-Dub over the last few weeks. Definitely some big hits out there on the racetrack. Is Nelson Johns Nelson coming in, showing the love as well, says, let's go racing, boys. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Yes, Sirski, you know it, my boy. As Forrest, the Juke Cat, Forrest the Juke Cat coming in with that share on the broadcast. The Juke Joint coming in with that share, as well as Friends for Pets, Dimitri Curtis, and my boy Kevin Winker, K-Dub Winker Nation in the house coming in, smashing that like button. The heart reaction over there on Facebook as we get ready to rumble. We get ready to duke it out here in this one. Richard says, let's go LePan. Cheered on LePan here as T-Wax says, is this league open to anyone? I'm not 100% sure on that one, T-Wax. I feel like it is. I feel like they've got certain guidelines that you gotta meet, some requirements on whether or not it's official races or your I rating and stuff like that, but you can definitely check him out over on Facebook at the HCK Beagles, and check him out over there, or we can shoot you the Discord and get you into the Discord there, and you can ask the admin crew on how to become part of the HCK Beagles family here today. As we'll get them ready to rumble, we'll get ready to roll here in just a couple more moments. Drivers getting lined up here on the front straightaway, and right now it's a pair of teammates at the front of the field here. It's a couple of the Tech Warrior Pop Smoke rides. Jason LePan and Jacob Grube, 1 and 2, getting ready to duke it out here in this one. They sit first and second is Zach Michael there in third. Nick Garner there to his outside in position number 4. He'll be looking for more here all evening long, looking to try to put that 27 Celsius ride up and into victory lane. The Ghost Energy 77 of Brandon Aming will round out our top 5. He's going to have Chris Gilbert there to his outside. Nicholas Snyder there in 7th with Brandon Eastman rounding out our top 8. On the inside, a row number 5 in the 83, it is the Dirt Track Junkies machine, the Dirt Track Junkies ride. See if we get another look at it right there. There it is, that Dirt Track Junkies machine of Josh Ely, who will start there in 9th to his outside in the 51. It's Brian Chu. Then we see down in the inside, a row number 6, the 971 machine, the DSR electric ride. That is Nate Mower there in Mauer. I gotta get that right. It's Nate Mauer in position number 11. Brett Summers there to his outside. Ryan Peterson, Austin Gustafson, Bobby Blair, Joshua Ledoux. And then we see Tim Blankenbeckler there in 17th here. Brad Lane will start to his outside there in 18th. Jeremy Lucy, Mark Beverly rounding out our top 20. Then we see Tyson Pankow, John McCullich, hopefully I'm saying that right, McCullich there in 22nd. William Klein, Stephen Hines, Alex Pelican, Kevin Woody, John Herbert, Robert Howard, and Kosherberger. Then we see Kevin Winker, K-Dub back there in 30th. Nathaniel Osterwisky, Robert McDonald there in his Friends for Pets, the juke joint number 31 right back in 32nd. Kyle Van Tassel, Gregory Turner, and Neil Lapidus bringing up the rear of the field here. Neil not out there onto the racetrack as we already see some trouble down out of corner number 2 as we are quickly. Green Flag Racing is the Tech Warrior number 20 ride of Jason LePan, who will lead the first lap here this afternoon as the caution flag does fly. Some issues down the back straightaway here, and unfortunately some pretty good contact here. Let's take a look at it and see what happens as Brian Chu started in that 10th position. He's already sideways here. I don't know if he came down on the 83's nose there or he just loses it. Looks like he just loses it right there. Car gets a little slideways on the racetrack. Nowhere to go for Josh Ely. They come together. He goes down the racetrack. Car contact with that inside wall. You see everyone else try to get checked up, trying to avoid any additional contact and keeping themselves out of trouble out there on the speedways. Dimitri Curtis says, T-Wax, it is open to anyone, preferably with a solid IR and SR, but registration has passed unless they're open to latecomers. Yeah, that's the big thing that I was thinking too, is the registration area. They usually give a couple weeks, but I think we're far enough now into the season that I'm not sure if they'll open it up to anybody else. As Lisa Normand coming in, she says, let's go in number 31, cheered on Mr. Not Robert Howard. There's Robert Howard out there now, but we got another Robert out there as well as Robert McDonald in that 31 ride, the juke joint machine out there on the racetrack here this afternoon as we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. It was What's Good, Bruce. Mr. Muleberger in the house there. Tower operator coming in showing the lumps is hashtag Winker Nation, cheering on K-Dub here this afternoon. Now, K-Dub's going to have to try to work himself up through the field here. Right now, he's down pit side, getting some repairs, getting some fresh tires, trying to get some work done to that 42 Muleberger Custom Homes, number 42. He'll roll back out onto the racetrack right now, and unfortunately, on the outside of our top 30 on the speedway. As we'll get them ready to rumble, we'll get ready to go back to battle. It's Jason LePan, Jacob Grube, 1 and 2 on the speedway. Zach Michael back there in third with Nick Garner still in fourth. Brandon Domingue, Chris Gilbert, Nicholas Snyder, Brandon Eastman are top 8. They all stayed in the same spot, and it was back in that 9th and 10th position where we see some issues there as Nate Mower Maurer jumps up into 9th. Brett Summers now into 10th. Josh Ely falls back a couple spots in that 83 run. He's now scored in the 11th position. Austin Gustafson there going to round out our top 12 in that beautiful WeatherTech Wild Wings number 71 ride, as he'll get ready to see if he can race his way inside the top 10 here this afternoon. It's Janelle coming in, showing the love, says let's go Team HP Motorsports, hashtag Ridge Power Sports and KR Gutters. Yes, ma'am, let's get it. Let's see what these boys can do and see who can put themselves up and into victory lane. It's a warm day here at Dover International Speedway. A lot of warm air. The track surface is very, very hot. So we've already seen one driver, unfortunately, just rolling back under the throttle, the rear end, and losing that traction, going around right there at corner number 2. A tough break there for Brian Chu, our 10th place starter, and now he is back at the rear of the field here, restarting back in 32nd. And for Chu, definitely not the way he wanted things to start here in this one. And obviously for Neil Lapidus, our boy Neil, unfortunately not out there as well as we are. What's good, Tubbs Milner? What's good, Tubbs? Tubbs coming in, showing the love as well over there on Twitch. Says, yo, what's good, my boy? How are you, brother? How you doing this afternoon? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful day. Is Vincent coming in with the like on the stream? Joshua Ledoux coming in as well with that thumbs up here and the share on the broadcast. My boy Craig Michael Deacon. Craig coming in with that like as Mr. Leon coming in, showing the love as well. Says, let's go Trench, shirt on Trench out there on the Speedway. Or Mrs. Leon coming in, showing the love there over on Facebook as well. Coming in, showing the love for Trench here this afternoon. As here we go, back to Green Flag Racing. The 20 ride of Jason LePan, a perfect restart, and quickly opens up quite a bit of a gap between himself here and our second place driver, Zach Michaels. Michael, Brandon Deming, Nick Gardner, all these drivers able to quickly work themselves around. We're missing a driver out of the top 10 here. Jacob Grube falling like a rock there on that restart. Unfortunately for the Pop Smoke car, a little bit of left rear damage there on that 18 machine, and he slid all the way back into the 15th position. So our outside full sitter now all the way back deeper in the field here. You see some smoke down there. Everyone able to work their way through it. Everyone trying to keep themselves out of trouble here, as we do see another driver head down pit side. The WeatherTech number 71 ride of Austin Gustafson. Gustafson now down on pit road here, unscheduled pit stop there for the 71 machine, and that's a heartbreaker as he's already a lap down, probably going to go about 2, maybe even 3 laps down here by the time he rolls back out onto the racetrack. So for Austin, not the way he wanted things to go early on in this race. As Dimitri Curtis says, hell of a jump. Look, Pan got a big jump there. Hey, you know what? Leader, once that pace truck heads down pit side, he has the control area. He can fire anywhere there. It's not down to the Geico restart zone. It's anytime that pace truck heads down across that pit lane, he gets control. He gets the ability to fire when he chooses, and there you go. He's able to use a good jump, a good restart. That's the benefactor of being the race leader. Now it's everyone else's job to try to catch up to him and see if they can find their way around him. As there you go, that 34 of Zach Michael. He's trying to hunt him down. Same with that 77 of Brandon Deming. Nick Gardner back there in position number 4 and looking for more, as Nicholas Snyder already up inside the top 5 here. Last week's winner, I do believe, if I remember correctly. Snyder was able to find victory lane last Tuesday night, and here he is back up inside the top 5. Nate Maurer up and into that 6th position. Now, Maurer has had some pretty good runs. In the first race he ran here with the HCK Beagles, came home in position number 3. Last week we saw him come home in position number 2. Now this week, his 3rd race with the Beagles here this afternoon. He's hoping to see if he can get one spot better and put that Toyota DSR electric ride up and into victory lane here in this race. As Chris Gilbert rolls there in 7th, we see Brandon Eastman back in 8th. Josh Ely there in 9th with Ryan Peterson rounding out our top 10 as that beautiful Ridge Motorsports number 469 ride rolls there just inside the top 10 on the racetrack. Heck of a run so far. Great racing action. A lot of back and forth. A lot of drivers trying to keep themselves out of trouble. Now we're starting to see more drivers head down pit lane. We saw the number 18 of Jacob Grube. He came down pit road. Same with this 87 of John Herbert. So a couple drivers making some early pit stops here on the afternoon, and now definitely back quite a ways in the field here as Jacob Group. He's back in 32nd. Now he is at least a lap down here, maybe even potentially 2 laps down out there on the racetrack as Jason LePan out in front, starting to stretch out that race lead. It's now a 1.4 second gap between himself and that second place truck, the 77 of Brandon Domingue. Domingue able to make his way around that 34 of Zach Michael and the 27 there as here comes Nick Gardner, here comes Nicholas Snyder as well, both able to get around that 34 machine. Now he's got that number 971 and Nate Maurer right there in his back bumper, looking to try to race his way up and inside the top 5 out there on the racetrack. Chris Gilbert there in 7th with Brandon Eastman. Ely and Peterson still rounding out our top 10. Jeremy Lucy in that Ridge Power Sports KR Gunners ride up into position number 11. Mark Beverly there in position number 12. Both drivers already up 8 spots here early in this race. Bobby Blair's there in 13th. Brad Lane there in 14th. And it's Joshua Ledoux who rounds out our top 15 on the racetrack. Stephen Hines, he's up 8 positions. He rolls there in that 16th spot. He's got Tyson Pankow, John McCullich there behind him. Then we see Alex Pelican and William Klein rounding out our top 20 there in his beautiful dirt track junkies number 88 machine. The 71 ride right there behind him, that is Kevin Woody. Woody in that beautiful not sure which Hendrick drivers that is, as they normally run about 4 or 5 of those HendrickCars.com trucks there in the NASCAR Truck Series. I do believe that's the Raja Caruth paint scheme there on the 71 ride is the 14 of Nathaniel Ostrowiecki right there behind him. Robert Howard back in 23rd. Brian Chu there in 21st. That driver that went around to bring out our first caution flag. Unfortunately still back there deeper in the field. And for Brent Summers, he's falling back like a rock here as well. Summers there in 26. Now falling to 27th as Ed Koshersberger goes around him. Now here comes that 31. The juke joint. The Frets for Pets number 31 ride. Robert McDonald. McDonald up and into 27th as you see Tim Blankenbackler right there behind him. Kevin Winker, K-Dub, and Winker Nation. Cheerier driver on us. He's now inside the top 30 at least out there on the speedway. Rolling there in 29th. Kyle Van Tassel back in 30th. Now Van Tassel, he is now a lap down as well as our race leader starting to race his way up and into some lap traffic here. And the more and more he keeps on rolling out there on the speedway, the closer and closer he's going to get to some more of that lap traffic, as you do see that's the 18 ride. His teammate there in front of him potentially going another lap down here early in this race for Jacob Grube. For Grube, definitely not the way he wanted things to get started as he goes down underneath that Ally boardwalk there across the racetrack here at the Monster Mile this afternoon. Dover International Speedway. Such a fun racetrack, such an amazing short track here. Some great racing action, and it's always fun when we go from the asphalt over to the concrete and being able to see these drivers, battle and duke it out on the different surface, trying to figure out how this really works. And then seeing this racetrack, man, it's a small, short track. You get a lot of door-to-door action out there, a lot of different lanes as this race will build on. And then pit road, very, very treacherous, can go down a couple laps in a quick hurry out there on the speedway as Jason LePan leads the way. The gap that he had there, almost a second and a half, it's starting to evaporate here. It's down to about 7/10 of a second as Brandon Domingue. Domingue is hunting him down in a quick hurry there in that 77 machine. Nick Garner still rolling there in third with Nicholas Snyder and Zach Michael rounding out our top 5. Nate Maurer back there in 6th with Chris Gilbert. Josh Ely now up into 8th as Brandon Eastman in that body armor number 12 truck slides back into position number 9. Jeremy Lucy able to get around Ryan Peterson here and put his Ridge Power Sports 76 right up inside the top 10, moving the other Ridge Power Sports number 469 to the outside of the top 10 now on the racetrack. Beautiful looking paint scheme there for that Ridge Power Sports machine out there on the racetrack is Mark Beverly in the Budweiser number 3 machine. Rolls there in 12th. Brad Lane now up into 13th as he's looking to try to march his way up towards the front of the field there in that race line number 1 machine. Bobby Blair there in 14th. Tyson Pankow now rounding out our top 15 as he works down low and underneath of that number 24 of Stephen Hines. Alex Pelican in the Bucky's there, the Bucky Celsius number 16 truck, rolling back in 17th, having a great front row seat here to that door-to-door battle for the 15th position. He's looking to try to join it, maybe poke his nose into that battle, maybe see if he can make that a little bit of a three-wide fight there for 15th on the racetrack is Nathaniel Ostrowiecki, Joshua Ledoux, and John McCullich there in 20th there, as McCullich back in that beautiful 21 ride, just rolling in that 20th position. Kevin Woody in that 88 of Will Klein trying to hunt him down as early on. It is all Jason LePan, but that gap is shrunk down to virtually a truck length or two. Here we go, Brandon DeMing. He is on the move to the front of the field here, and they're actually starting to hunt him down. The rest of this field going right with the 77. Now, I don't know if this was a strategy call, maybe take it a little bit easier there throughout the first few laps of this green flag run, and then just kind of keep up with the pace that you're looking at. Get a number, try to keep hitting that number, not push the truck too hard, where the 20 rider Jason LePan may have used up those tires trying to build that race lead up, and unfortunately, now starting to feel the consequences. Here comes that 77 ride, Brandon DeMing, going to look down to the inside. The 20 right moves up to the middle here. It's going to be a drag races down through quarter number 1 and out of 2. The 20 ride will continue to keep that race lead, but the 77, he's looking to take it away, and now here comes Nick Gardner. Gardner right into that fight, a quick hurry. He's right there ready to bounce, ready to make the move to the front of the field here in that Celsius 27 machine, and here comes last week's winner and last season's champion, Nicholas Snyder. Snyder right there as well, as unfortunately they couldn't find a way around that 20 ride of Jason LePan. LePan holds on to the race lead, and now you do see that 27 to the outside here of Brandon DeMing, looking to take position number 2 away from him. So some great racing here at the front of the field. Our top 5, you can virtually throw a blanket over them here, as Zach Michael right there. He's trying to join that battle. He wants to move up and see if he can get back around that 77 ride of Brandon DeMing on the racetrack. As LePan out in front, that Tech Warrior number 20 ride continue to lead the way, and you start to see a little bit of lap traffic there in front of them. Could play a hand in what they're able to do or where they need to run out there on the racetrack. They may move over nicely for the race leader, but they may put up a fight here with everyone else back there behind them and try to keep themselves in that free pass position on the racetrack. Is some great racing here in this one. It's John Herbert coming in, showing the love over there on Facebook with that heart reaction. Brad Hunt coming in as well, showing the love. Brad Racing showing the love over there on Facebook, and Mrs. Leon, hopefully I'm saying that right. I don't know, I'm probably going to get your first name completely wrong. Guido? I'm probably going to get that completely wrong. Mrs. Leon coming in, showing the love there with that follow over on Facebook. Become a part of the Peacemaker family. Become part of the Peacemaker fam. Jump in the comment section. Let me know how you correctly pronunciate your first name, and I'll try to give it a good old college try. It's Dimitri Curtis. Dimitri coming in as well over there on FB, showing the love with that heart reaction. Is some great racing here. Lap after lap after lap, as Cheryl says, let's go number 50. Robert Howard cheered on Howard out there on the speedways. Richard Bradshaw says, LePan on rails. LePan, he's been on rails, man. He was out to a good solid lead. We saw these guys catch back up to him, and then all of a sudden, he's just starting to pull back away here. I don't know if he's just trying to play this cat and mouse game with them, maybe give them a little glimpse of hope and trying to race their way into, victory lane here or something tonight. Just kind of playing with them a little bit, let them catch up to him, and then all of a sudden, as soon as they got there, he just pulled away once again. We'll have to see if Nick Gardner and Nicholas Snyder can try to hunt him down, as DeMing does slide back into position number 4. Nate Maurer now up inside the top 5 after he was able to work himself around that 34 ride of Zach Michael. So Michael slides back into the 6th position. Josh Ely battling here with that number 12 ride of Brandon Eastman. This is a battle for position number 7 on the racetrack. Eastman looking to try to jump up and take that spot back away from Ely, and Ely trying to hang on to it, but a great slide job, crossover right there. These guys put on a great battle back here for that 7th position. Looks like Eastman is going to take it away away here from that 83. So Ely back into 8th here, and Eastman now up into 7th. And they're looking to try to join that battle up there inside the top 5 as LePan continue to lead the way. But once again, had a pretty good lead once again, over half a second. There was about 5-6 truck lengths between himself and that 27 rider, Nick Gardner. Gardner right back on him though. Gardner back onto his back bumper here, looking to see if he can make the move, see if he can try to get around this 20 truck and take this race lead away. As so far, LePan has been the reflection of perfection out there on the speedway. Quickest in qualifying. He's led every lap so far here tonight, and all these drivers behind him looking to try to knock him out of that top spot, looking to try to take this race lead away from the 20 riders. Right there in front of him, you do see the 18 truck. That is Jason LePan. Now that's not Jason LePan, that's Jacob Grube in the 18 ride. Jason LePan, our race leader, they're teammates here. So for the 18 ride, already running into some problems, getting some damage there on the back end of that truck. Came down pit side, unfortunately, even after a solid second place qualifying run for the 18 machine. He is now down multiple laps, scored back in position number 29. And here you go, green flag pit stops potentially getting underway as Jason LePan makes the hard left-hand turn down pit road. So LePan going to be the first driver to kind of bite the bullet here. Heads down pit side, looking to get some work done to this number 20 machine. Everyone else going to stay out there on the racetrack. Not many other drivers going with them. Now we do see Kevin Woody in the Hendrick Cars ride. He comes down pit side, but definitely an interesting call here. Maybe, oh, look out! Oh, the 18 right almost going around right there. There it is. Caution flag back out into the air as Jacob Grube getting sideways there out of the corner. Number 3 and 4. A little help, a little contact out of the 27 right as Grube trying to keep himself from going another lap down. He has both the Nicks right there trying to get around him, and unfortunately for Nick Gardner, he gets a piece of him right there, spins him sideways down to the bottom side of the racetrack. With that truck being stopped there on the racetrack and the smoke and everything else, they are going to throw that caution flag out. And a heartbreaker there. Another tough hit there for that number 18 machine, and now for his teammate Jason LePan. What's that going to do for him as the race leaders were able to get around him right there before his pit stop was done? Unfortunately, looks like he may go a lap down. Going to have to look for the wave around right here to hope to try to get back onto the lead lap, but he's going to lose a ton of track position here in this one. Richard says perfect strategy by the 20. You would think so. If it was Daytona or a bigger racetrack where you could come down pit road and not be lapped, it would probably be a very, very good call right there in perfect timing out of that 20 right. Unfortunately, he did go a lap down right there. He is going to have to look for that wave around the free pass or whatever he may need to get back onto the lead lap here this afternoon as he scored back in 27th. Looks like him and Kyle Van Tassel both hoping to try to get that wave around here, back around the pace truck and back onto the either lead lap or trying to get a lap back here as you see Jacob Grube looking for a lap here, and that number 87 right at John Herbert. They're all looking for a lap back out there on the speedway, and already some tough breaks for a bunch of these drivers. Definitely not the way they wanted things to play out here in this one. They wanted to see that entire pit cycle play out, and unfortunately not how it's going to work for him here tonight in this one. As Pete Curtis coming in says, let's go. Robert Howard cheering on Robert out there on the racetrack as the East Coast Resto team coming in, showing the love there for that 50 run. Unfortunately, not the run that he was hoping for here this afternoon. And for Robert Howard, he scored back in position number 31 in that innovative number 50 machine as he's back in 31st right now. He is a lap or multiple laps down. Going to need some more caution flags and more opportunities to try to put himself back onto the lead lap as Kevin Wanker, Kyle Van Tassel going to make an additional pit stop down pit road here as well as we'll get ready. Go back to battle. We'll get ready to duke it out here once again as Brandy Wilson. Brandy coming in with that little heart reaction on the stream. I appreciate that, Brandy, coming in showing the love here this afternoon as Michi says, Guido, Trench's brother. Guido. Okay, it's Trench's brother. Okay, I appreciate that, Dimitri. So a shout out there to Guido Leon coming in, becoming a brand new follower over there on Facebook, coming in, smashing that follow button, become part of the Peacemaker family here today. And yo, Neil Motherfluffin Lepidus! Neil coming in, setting it off here in this one. Neil coming in, celebrating 4 months of being a subscriber here on Peacemaker Gaming with that Prime sub over there on Twitch. Says, got stuck working the on-call shift this evening. On my way, but going to be a dozen of laps down, but I'll still come in for a point or two. Hey, brother, that's all that matters. Going out there, having some fun, getting at least maybe a couple points out there. There might be a couple up for grabs as we go back to Green Flag Racing. Brandon Aming quickly onto the lap pedal. The 77 truck rocket launches down the back straightaway, trying to open up that gap here. Down into corner number 3 is Nick Gardner. There in that second spot. Nicholas Snyder back in third. Nate Maurer now back into position number 4 on the racetrack as Zach Michael rounding out our top 5. Mark Beverly up and into 6 here as Brandon Eastman there in 7. Josh Ely back in 8 for Bobby Blair and Brad Lane rounding out our top 10 out there on the racetrack. And unfortunately, as we look farther back, our race leader for pretty much every lap before that caution flag, the 20 ride of Jason LePan. LePan all the way back here scored in 23rd position on the racetrack. And for LePan, definitely not the strategy call that he wanted to see there after going down pit side and then getting that caution flag out there. And it was his teammate that went around, and unfortunately, bunch of tore up race cars, or a couple tore up race cars. You see the 50 ride. Tough break right here. That is Robert Howard going around here. We can take another look back at it here as Howard definitely struggling out there on the racetrack. This is a very, very tricky track, and unfortunately for that, Innovated Physical Therapy Solutions number 50 ride. Down through corner number 1 and 2. Looks like he's just going to lose that rear end. He's trying to save it, overcorrects. The truck just snaps loose, goes around on him. Luckily enough, doesn't look like he makes any contact with the inside or outside fence there, and able to keep on rolling on the racetrack, and luckily enough doesn't end up with any catastrophic contact or anything else out there on the speedway. So this is going to give another opportunity. More drivers going to take some pit road strategy here, headed down pit road. We do see Jeremy Lucy, Chris Gilbert, Alex Pelican, K-Dub, Kevin Winker back down pit side. Robert McDonald down pit road as well. Trench getting some work done to his beautiful number 31 machine as all these drivers trying to get their cars topped up with fuel, trying to hit this strategy right on the head here and hoping that they can use that strategy to maybe put themselves up and into victory lane here this afternoon. As already some great racing action, a lot of back and forth out there on the speedway, a lot of battles unfortunately going the wrong way, and for some of our front runners, definitely not the way they wanted to see it go, as I'm sure Nick Gardner didn't want to try and spin that number 18 right at Jacob Gruber around there to bring out that second caution flag of the day. But man, Miles the Monster so far, I don't think he's really claimed any vehicles here. Not by incident. We did see Austin Gustafson and Gregory Turner go down pit side early in the race, and they haven't jumped back out there, so a tough break there for both of those drivers. John Herbert multiple laps down, I do believe, in that number 29 ride, and a couple other drivers obviously having problems going around or going a couple laps down, just struggling with their handling out there. But nonetheless, we keep on rocking and rolling. As Dimitri Kerr says, I gotta ask, how do you remember all these sponsors, names, etc. without missing a beat? Do you do other league streams too? Dimitri, brother, I do leagues every single night of the week. Every night of the week I have different leagues that I broadcast. 20, 30, 40 cars in each of those leagues, and honestly, there's some nights I do multiple. Sometimes on Sundays I have 3 to 4 broadcasts, something like that on Sundays, sometimes 3 to 4, and yeah, man, it's just the way my brain works, and what makes it so perfect up here in the broadcast booth is just having that name recognition, being able to memorize numbers and sponsors, stuff like that, and being able to just react and talk quick enough to be able to kind of just make things run and roll so fluid out there on the speedway. As here we go, back to Green Flag Racing as Kevin Reese says hi to Julie Smith. There's Julie coming in, show the love here in this one. How are you, Julie? Julie coming in, drop that like on the stream. Is down through the Geico restart zone. We are back to Green Flag Racing as Brandon Deming quickly onto the loud pedal here. Deming out in front is the 5 ride of Nicholas Snyder right there in tow in the DSR Electric 971, and Nate Maurer back there in position number 3. Garner slides all the way back there into that 4th position as the Celsius ride now being hunted down by the body armor number 12 truck of Brandon Eastman. Zach Michael there in the Cummings. Rush Truck Center's number 34 ride there in 6th. The Budweiser number 3 of Mark Beverly back in 7th as Bobby Blair in that beautiful Ridge Power Sports KR Gutters number 75 ride rolls there in 8th. His Ridge Power Sports teammate Ryan Peterson right there behind him in position number 9, and then we see that KTM machine on Nathaniel Ostrowiecki. He's there in 10th. The Dirt Track Junkies number 83 of Josh Ely there in 11th with the beautiful Tech Warrior number 19 ride, that Pop Smoke machine of Ed Koscherberger there in position number 12. Brent Lane in the race line number 1 ride. Up 5 spots here in this race. He rolls there in that 13th position, but you look who's right behind him. The driver who went around on the opening lap down the back straightaway and through quarter number 2. We saw this 51 rider, Brian Chu, go around, bring up that first caution flag of the day. Now he's trying to battle back and race his way back up towards the top 10, and going down and around him is that 20 truck of Jason LePan. That Tech Warrior ride. He is a man on a mission here today. Led the opening, first 40 laps or so of this race, and now he's right there trying to battle back after a pit road mishap, just an untimely caution flag after making that green flag pit stop, the first one of the day. And unfortunately there for LePan, he's got a lot of ground to make up, trying to race his way back up to the front of the field. A lot of tough passes coming up at him here in just a quick couple seconds as the Dirt Track Junkies number 88 of William Klein rolls there in 16th. The Jenks ride, the 45 of Chris Gilbert there in 17th. Jeremy Lucy in the Ridge Power Sports and number 76 ride rolls there in 18th with Tyson Pankow there in 19th here in that 91 truck, that beautiful Dirt Track Junkies 91 truck rolling there in the 19th position. John McCulloch in that number 21 ride, he rolls there in position number 20 with the Frets for Pets, the Juke Joint number 10 ride of Tim Blankenbeckler. Blankenbeckler there in 21st on the racetrack. The Dirt Track Junkies 38 of Joshua Ledoux there in 22nd with Brett Summers in the Boston Web Marketing number 7 truck rolls there in 23rd. And there's Rob McDonald right there with his ladies and gentlemen, the Juke Joint. The Frets for Pets number 31 of Rob McDonald up 10 spots here on the racetrack. Currently one of our hard chargers out there on the racetrack, up 10 spots and into 24th on the speedway. Alex Pelican there in the Bucky Celsius number 16 truck rolls there in 25th. Kevin Winker in the Muleburger Custom Home Sonic Graphic Designs, the Winker Nation Chevrolet rolls there in 26th. That HendrickCars.com 71 of Kevin Woody there in 27th, and the Pop Smoke number 18 ride. That's Jacob Grew back there in 28th. Robert Howard in the Innovative number 50 ride rolls there in 29th. Stephen Hines, unfortunately, now looks like Hines has left the racing surface here. So Hines off the racetrack. He was scored back in the 30th position. I do believe we've also seen Kyle Van Tassel go multiple laps down here. Same with John Herbert, as Herbert still roll out there right now, currently in a battle which would be just outside our top 20 on the speedway. Gregory Turner and his HCK Beagles ride down pit side, and Austin Gustafson and his WeatherTech number 71 machine also down pit road. Neil Lapidus, the OSOCOutdoors.com number 26 car, was supposed to be our 35th driver out there on the racetrack here today. Our 35th driver unfortunately did not take the green flag. He was on a work call. He's coming home though. He's kind of trying to jump out there onto the racetrack and see if he can lay down some laps out there. We can't wait to see that OSOC Outdoors number 26, the Juke Joint Friends for Pets ride out there onto the speedways. Brandon DeMing continuing to lead the way here in this one. DeMing picking right up where that 20 ride of Jason LePan let off. It's LePan, unfortunately, untimely caution flag there as he was making that green flag pit stop, lost all that track position. His battle back now into the 13th spot here. He's trying to follow his teammate there in the Tech Warrior number 19 in the 20 ride right there in 12th and 13th. They're trying to get themselves towards the front of the field here as DeMing, Nicholas Snyder, Nate Maurer, our top three out there on the speedways already in this race. 60 laps coming to a close here, ladies and gentlemen. 60 laps of racing action already into the books here this afternoon, as Julie says, come on 87, cheered on that 87 ride, as Kevin Rizzo says, let's go Ridge Power Sports, KR Gutters Trucks, let's go John Herbert, let's go Pearson, cheering on all the HP Motorsports rides here this afternoon, as Neil Lapidus says, here I come. Here he comes, ladies and gentlemen, is the Hypershift Racing League. What's good, Hypershift, coming in, showing the love with that heart reaction here on the broadcast. Hypershift showing the big love here in this one. Is here we go. Neil Lapidus about to jump out there onto the racetrack. Lapidus, his first laps here of the afternoon for the number 26, and there he is rolling down the front straightaway. So here comes that Osaka Outdoors, France for Pets, the juke joint 26 machine out there onto the racetrack. Now, lucky for him, he can gain at least one more spot here with Austin Gustafson being down pit road after lap 5. So as long as he rolls 6 laps, 7 laps out there, he's at least going to gain that position. Gregory Turner's been down pit side for a lot of laps, and Stephen Hines, unfortunately, has been down across the pit wall here since lap number, I do believe, 46. So if he can put in 46 laps, 50 laps out there, he could definitely gain quite a few extra points and positions on the speedway. As the men out in front, we start to see a few drivers make some green flag pit stops here. So a couple of drivers start to head down pit side. We saw Kyle Van Tassel, Robert McDonald, and a couple of these other cats start to come down pit road. We'll have to wait and see when our race leaders decide that they want to start headed down pit road themselves. As Ian Williams, Ian coming in, says hashtag Snyder to the front. Hashtag Simply Fast RD coming in, showing the love there for him. Is Amy says let's go Eastman, cheered on that 12 ride of Brandon out there on the racetrack, is right now Eastman battling door to door with that 14 ride of Nathaniel Ostrowski looking to continue to get that KTM number 14 truck a little closer to the front of the field after now racing his way inside the top 10 on the racetrack, and right now he is our hard charger. He's up 22 positions, now only up 21 though, as that 83 of Josh Ely rolls right down and around him here. We saw Ely and that 12 truck of Brandon Eastman have a great battle here in that first long run of the day, and they're looking to try to go back to battle here again. They're looking to duke it out here as Josh Ely trying to hunt him down in a quick hurry out there on the racetrack, as the Ming still holding a fairly sizable lead here, 4, 5, 6 truck lengths between himself and Nicholas Snyder, but Snyder is slowly but surely closing that gap and reeling in that 77 machine out there on the speedway. He gets closer and closer, lap after lap after lap. They've started to put a bit of a gap between themselves now and our third place driver, Nate Maurer. Maurer back there in position number 3. He's been on a heck of a run, a heck of a tear there in that DSR Electric 971 ride, as man, since coming into the scene here with the HCK Beagles, he's been a man on fire, as Nick Garner, Zach Michael rounding out our top 5, as man, these laps are getting clicked down in a quick hurry here, ladies and gentlemen. My gosh, these green flag laps, these drivers doing a fantastic job here this afternoon, and they're clicking these laps off at rapid pace out there on the speedway. Not a lot of caution flags, not a lot of issues or cleanup out there on the speedway, and so far just non-stop hard-fought racing here at Dover International Speedway, and that's exactly what we want to see here this afternoon, as Brandon Deming down into corner number 3. He's going to roll around Miles the Monster there in corner number 3 and 4, and he's going to drive it up off of corner number 4, lead another lap down across the line. But you see that 5 ride closing that gap still, getting closer and closer to the back bumper of our race leader, as he's going to be looking to try to take over this race lead. We'll see if he can not only catch up to him. Once he catch him, that's one thing, but trying to get around him, it's a whole different thing. You got to be able to get your run absolutely perfect out there on the racetrack. You got to make sure that you don't make any mistakes. You want to make sure that you get the run off of the corner, maybe get down to the inside or to the outside, where you can kind of line them up and get the run that you need to clear them down low, and that's exactly what we see that 5 ride doing here. A big run up to the high side, shoots down the hill, down the back straightaway, gets this massive run down into corner number 3, and that opens up the door, gives him the inside lane. Now Deming trying to hang tough there to the outside. Now this is what we saw out of that 20 ride of Jason LePan there for a few laps, and unfortunately Nick Gardner and the 77 of Brandon Domingue just could not get around him. Domingue saw it firsthand as he was down low. He was trying to make the pass on the 20 truck, just unfortunately couldn't get the run to clear him and take that lead officially away from that 20 of Jason LePan. But now that he got that race lead, he's trying to do the exact same thing, but I don't know if he's going to be able to or not. But he does get another great run out of corner number 4. He will lead that lap again as down across the line, going to keep that 5 ride back there at bay. But Snyder, he is not going away easily. He's wanting to put himself back into a winning situation here this afternoon, trying to pick up another win. And as they continue to battle door to door, this is exactly what we saw there throughout that first run when LePan was trying to keep that race lead. The 77 truck of Domingue was trying to take it away from him. As down across the line, that time Nicholas Snyder was able to lead that lap, but Domingue still hanging tough to the outside as they're door to door. That gap back there behind him starting to close up as here comes Nick Gardner. Nate Maurer going to slide back to 4th. Here is Zach Michael right there as well. You see that Ozark Outdoors, the beautiful Friends for Pets ride now. Neil Lapidus does have very fresh tires out there on the racetrack in that 26, so he's able to make quick work of some of the drivers inside the top 5, and now we're trying to hunt down our race leaders, maybe seeing if he can get a lap back out there. As here we go, Nicholas Snyder officially in front of the field here again this afternoon. So Snyder out in front, leading the way. Here is the 77 of Brandon Domingue, trying to hold on to position number 2 is Neil Lapidus, looking to just get around him, use those fresh tires to maybe race his way up to the front of the field. Is already about 2 seconds of tire fall off here for these drivers. So that just shows you how tough this racetrack is on the tires here. Dover, being the concrete racetrack that it is, it's how hot it is, man. It's tearing up these tires in a quick hurry, and that's going to make some drivers definitely have some issues if they're handling wise, not trying to spin their trucks around, and also just trying to maybe play that strategy game out there on the speedway. As we inch closer and closer to the checkered flag, we are officially over halfway through this race. So halfway through this local support local music 150, powered by the Juke Joint and Threats for Pets. Here this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to jump into a Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up. So crank up that volume and cheer on your favorite drivers right now in the comment section. Cheer them on, drop a comment, and make sure you hit that like button, hit that share button, and hit that follow and subscribe button as we crank it up here on Peacemaker Gaming. As the caution flag does fly, the yellow flag coming out here in this one. It is a Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up caution flag out there. Is the caution flag curse going to continue here this afternoon? As let's take a look back and see what potentially brings out this yellow flag here. Looks like Nicholas Snyder potentially running into some problems here. Now he's rolling out in front. He's our race leader. Sees the 77 come back out onto the racetrack and then down into corner number 3. Not sure if he's trying to head down pit road or not. He hits pit lane. He does come down pit side, but it's somewhere back here behind him. we see more drivers running into problems. Now, I don't know where this kind of got started or who got collected, but somebody goes around. It's not going to give me a word here really on who ended up going around right there. That's going to be interesting to try to figure out. I'm not sure who ended up going around, who ended up being a part of that caution flag, but fortunately for them, potentially some damage, some heavy damage. We saw some smoke down through corner number 1 and 2, or 3 and 4 there. Caution flag is out here at this point. I'm not sure who this yellow flag was or who was turned around. See if Nick Gardner saw anything here. Huh. All right, so a little bit of a ghost caution flag right there. I'm not too sure where that yellow flag was coming out or for who it was coming out for, as just not really any signs of anybody turned around, anyone pointed the wrong direction out there on the speedway. And unfortunately, no caution flag out there, so that's definitely an interesting one. Not sure where that came out or what happened there to bring that caution flag out. Nonetheless, though, we'll get them stacked up. We'll get them racked up. We'll get ready to go back to green flag racing out there. A little bit of a ghost caution flag. And Nicholas Snyder going to continue to lead this race as the 5 wide out in front. Looking to try to get this race back underway. Looking to try to start laying down these laps again out there on the speedway as Mike Leach, what's good, Mike? Mike coming in, showing the love with that like on the stream. How are you, Mike? Mike dropping that thumbs up on the broadcast over there on Facebook, showing the love here this afternoon. Amanda Herbert also coming in with that thumbs up, the like over there on Facebook as well. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hit that like button. Hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button as the caution lights were on before that 5 truck came down pit side there. So unfortunate timing for the 5 machine. He was headed down pit side. He was committed to it. Unfortunately, the red lights that came on before he was down across the commitment cone line there, and unfortunately coming down pit road still, getting service done to that 5 machine. He is going to go to the rear of the field here for this restart. So a tough break there for that 5 ride as we get them all stacked up. I do believe that the 971 truck here, Nate Maurer, also not where he wants to be back here, as Maurer now back in 22nd, Brandon Eastman back here in 21st. A lot of these drivers are now a lap down there as a couple of these caution laps and a couple of these untimely cautions kind of in the middle or the start of these yellow flags and everything else. Like, drivers were just going down pit road here at Bristol. You can easily go a couple laps down out there on the racetrack, and unfortunately those untimely caution flags not letting the race kind of cycle around. And unfortunately, they are now stuck to lap down back there, hoping to get some free pass. Hoping to see some more caution flags out there on the racetrack as Nick Gardner, our new race leader out there on the speedway, does see that green flag fly. He quickly opens up a bit of a lead between himself and Zach Michael. Michael trying to hold on to position number 2 is Mark Beverly. Mark up 17 spots on the racetrack, now sits in 3rd here on the speedway, and he's right there into that fight. Josh Ely now up inside the top 5 as well here, and there you go, that race line number 1 ride. Brad Lane, he's there as well. Lane into position number 5 on the racetrack here as well. So some big movers on the day, benefactors to some of these caution flags, and definitely getting their money's worth here this evening, and potentially some very, very good runs, while other drivers may have to struggle now being a lap down or multiple laps down out there on the speedway. And seeing these long green flag runs, seeing those caution flags come out as drivers in the middle of that pit cycle, and unfortunately a lot of drivers going from the front of the field to the back of the pack here tonight, as seen Nathaniel Ostrowski there in 6th now, Chris Gilbert there in 7th, and Koshersberger back there in 8th with Jeremy Lucy, Alex Pelican, John McCulloch there in position number 11 now. Nicholas Snyder, he scored back here in position number 12, trying to race his way back up towards the front of the field. Tyson Pankow, Brett Summers right there behind him. Joshua Ledoux there in 15th with Brandon Deming back in position number 16. Bobby Blair there in 17th with Brian Chu. William Klein rounding out our top 19 on the racetrack. Kevin Wanker, K-Dub there in 20th on the racetrack. Jinx LePan, the first driver, a lap down out there on the speedway. LePan looking for that quick caution flag and potentially getting that free pass. The lucky dog back onto the lead lap here this evening as that Tech Warrior number 21. That Pop Smoke 22 machine rolls there in that 21st position for our early race leader and our pole sitter. Definitely not where he wanted to be this afternoon. Brandon Eastman in that same boat as he's down a lap. Score back in 21st. Tim Blankenbeckler, he's down a lap. Named Mo Maurer, he's down a lap now as well. That PSR Electric 971 ride. So a few of our front runners running into some issues here with that pit cycles and those pit strategies here this evening. Is out in front. It's Nick Gardner. Gardner continuing to lead the way with Zach Michael. Mark Beverly, our top three out there on the speedway as we'll continue on here once again with our Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up. So crank up that volume once again and cheer on your favorite drivers as we crank it up here on Peacemaker Gaming. go. You get a good look at it right there as the caution flag comes back out. This time it's Trench, that 31 machine, the Friends for Pence, the juke joint ride. Gonna go around down out of corner number 2. Unfortunately, just looks like he gets loose down through the middle of quarter number 1 and 2. Truck sideways on the racetrack. He's trying to keep it together. Unfortunately, coming from off the racetrack onto the apron, back and forth, and then truck just gets even more loose. Unfortunately, comes up, gets a piece of the 14 ride, putting Nathaniel Ostrowiecki and the 5 ride of Nicholas Snyder both getting some damage there down into the inside wall as he slides down the racetrack. Self-cleaning racetrack here at Dover. Unfortunately, you always seem to find that inside fence once you start going around here at the Speedway, and unfortunately for Trench right there, gets some pretty solid damage onto the juke joint. Friends for Pence ride. That's a heartbreaker there for him as we'll get ready to go back to battle here in this one. This is going to give drivers another opportunity to head down pit side, get some work done, get some service done, and potentially use, you know, their last sets of tires here and try to play that strategy where maybe you give up track position but get those fresher tires and see if you can race your way up to the front of the field. Jason LePan in the 20 ride was in that free pass position for LePan. That's great news, as that's going to put him back onto the lead lap here this evening. So for that Tech Warrior ride, back onto the lead lap, able to get that 20 ride, maybe back into the action here up at the front of the field here this afternoon, as he's probably going to head down pit side, get some tires and fuel onto this 20 truck and see if he can try to battle back towards the front of the pack here. Now, I don't know if he's trying to decide on whether or not he wants to come down pit road as of right now, or if he wants to kind of wait it out. Looks like he's going to wait it out here and stay out there on the Speedway. So not coming down pit road. We did see Kevin Wink or K-Dub making another trip down pit side, looking to get that number 42 ride repaired up and fixed up and ready to go back out there and get back into the battle here this afternoon. We're going to get ready to go back to green flag racing here. Just over 40 laps of racing action left here from Dover International Speedway. Is it International Speedway or is it Motor Speedway? It's International Speedway. International Speedway here this afternoon, as out in front it's Nick Gardner. Gardner gonna see that green flag fly here quickly. Back onto the lap pedal this afternoon as Zach Michael there in second. You see Josh Ely getting a good jump on the outside lane. He's looking to try to clear that 3 right of Mark Beverly. Beverly trying to stay inside the top 3 here this evening. And now here you go. Here comes that 5 right. Nicholas Snyder, that's the caution flag that he was hoping to see, as now he's raced his way back inside the top 5. Now trying to find his way around that 3 machine as he washes up the racetrack right there. Maybe opening up the door for Chris Gilbert as Ed Konchersberger in that Tech Warrior number 19 ride rolls there at 7th. Alex Pelican, great run here for that 16 ride as he rolls there in the 8th position. Brent Summers and John McCullich rounding out our top 10 on the racetrack. Right there behind him is Brian Chu in position number 11, and then some of those fresher tires back there behind him here. Lap 105, and there's some contact. Around goes that 3 truck. Look at Brett Summers sideways there on the racetrack, trying to keep that truck getting more contact and more damage out there on the racetrack. But unfortunately for the 3 rider Mark Beverly, he's going to go around. That's going to bring our caution flag back out, and man, that's a tough break for him. Just some good hard battling here. That 5 ride was trying to get around him here, trying to work himself up into 4th, and unfortunately, they're just going to make some contact here. Down into corner number 3. Oh, man, that truck almost goes airborne. Heavy contact backing it into the outside fence right there for him. You'll see John Herbert going around, but, man, just this contact right here. I don't know what happened, but down into corner number 3, things get out of control in a quick hurry. He gets turned right there. I don't know if he's trying to cut down the racetrack or the 5's trying to stay up in the middle lane, but nonetheless, luckily, he stays on the track there. Doesn't go airborne, doesn't go upside down, but heavy contact nonetheless there for him. And then we see that 7 rider, Brett Summers, he's trying to get through there. He's going to get into the back end of the 16 and just get loose here himself, and he's going to get sideways on the racetrack, trying to keep it from spinning around or collecting anyone else. Luckily enough, no one else runs into him and creates more carnage there for him, but we did see the number 87 ride of John Herbert. Not so lucky, a little deeper in the field here as Herbert trying to race his way up there, sees this this action. He gets onto the binders here, and unfortunately the truck just steps out and around on him right there, and Maurer ends up getting a piece of him. We see Neil Lapidus go around. The 10 right also goes around. His drivers stabbing those brakes, and unfortunately losing control of their trucks, and a few of them getting a little extra damage out there on the speedway. Is what's good, Justin? Justin coming in, showing the love. What's good, Mr. Toll? Justin coming in, showing the love here in this one with the 50-star dono. Says wreck in next 5 laps. Called it, he says. Called it. I don't know, brother. I don't know if you called it or if that was a little delayed. Nonetheless, I appreciate my boy coming in, showing the big love again here in this one. Dropping another 50-star dono. The big D of the day here this afternoon. The big D of the day here in this one, man. We appreciate that. Showing the love, showing the support over there on the Facebook broadcast, and huge shout again to Neil Lapidus becoming a subscriber again over there on Twitch. And for everyone else, if you guys have Twitch or if you guys have Amazon Prime and you have a Twitch account, and you guys do get a free Amazon Prime gifted sub every single month with your Amazon account over there on Twitch. So if you guys aren't using it or you want to use it, make sure you guys head over there to our Twitch stream and drop that Prime sub over there on the Twitch broadcast right now as we get ready to go back to battle. We get ready to duke it out here again. Some different pit strategy, some different pit cycles here for a lot of these drivers. Different action out there for guys trying to figure out whether or not they want to be, kind of coming down a little early, maybe a little later, trying to see if they can save some fuel maybe during these yellow flags, and really not having to give up any track position out there. But I gotta feel that the tires are gonna make a huge difference here throughout another long green flag run. So for a lot of these cats, making sure that their trucks, their cars are in perfect shape, have some good tires on it for a late race restart, definitely going to be the big key thing here this afternoon. As my boy Frank Ranger, what's good, Mr. Ranger? Frank coming in says, what's up, Frank? What's good, Mr. Ranger, coming in, showing the love over there on Twitch. How are you, my boys? Here we go. Back to green flag racing is down through corner number 4, down through the Geico restart zone. Nick Garner sees that green flag fly once again in that Napa Autobird Celsius number 27 as he's looking to rocket launch his way to victory lane. But here comes Nicholas Snyder. Another restart, another opportunity for him to gain a couple spots there in that 5 ride, trying to race his way back to the front of the field here. Snyder's been a man on a mission. He was able to race his way up, get that race lead, and then all of a sudden that pit road penalty unfortunately cost him a ton of track position, but he's been able to battle back from that. Now sits in position number 2 and trying to figure out a way to get back around. Nick Gardner out there on the racetrack as Zach Michaels there in position number 3. Grayson Gilbert and Alex Pelican now ready to our top 5 as he looks to try to get to the outside here of the race line number 1 of Brad Lane. Tyson Pankow right there as well as Pancakes there in position at number 7. Ed Koscherberger there in position number 8. John McCullich there in 9th, and now Brandon Domingue ready to our top 10 as here we go. Here comes Jason LePan. LePan back there in 13th. We'll see if he can start to race his way up towards the front of the field as a couple of these drivers, Brad Lane, Tyson Pankow, they came down pit road on lap 105. Everyone else in front of them here were down pit road on lap number 82. So a lot of different fuel strategy, maybe tires. I don't know if these guys took tires down pit side, but maybe try to save them for later in this one. Is what's good, Frank? Mr. Ranger coming in, showing the love over there on YouTube as well. Says, what's up, Frank? How are you, brother? How you doing this afternoon? And yo, shout out to my boy Justin Motherfluffin' Toll! Justin coming in, setting it off with the 500-star Motherfluffin' banger over there on Facebook. The big D of the day going to Justin Toll. Absolutely insane, brother. Setting it off here in this one, the 500-star dono. That is absolutely super generous of you, my boy. Coming in, showing the big love here, not only with the 50 stars, but also with the 500 stars to back it up here this evening is the big D of the day. Huge shout out there to Justin and showing the big love here in this one, man. Absolutely wild, my boy. Absolutely wild, and we can't thank you or appreciate you enough here in this one. Man, that was a super generous. I appreciate that, my boy. Showing the big love, the big D of the day now. There still for Justin Toll. The big D of the day extended this afternoon for Mr. Toll. Here we go, some good non-stop racing again here. Kind of that one couple quick caution flags there, and all of a sudden another good long green flag run here. And for those drivers that came down pit side, maybe got that extra bit of fuel, maybe a lot more comfortable out there on the racetrack, knowing that some of these other drivers may be a little bit short on fuel. They may have to make another green flag pit stop out there on the speedway if we stay clean and green down to the checkered flag, where they came down pit road on lap 105, lap 110. You know, they got that extra fuel in their tank. They got the ability to kind of run this race without having to come back down pit lane, so that could be a huge benefactor for them here this afternoon. For Nick Gardner, Nicholas Snyder, Zach Michael, Chris Gilbert, a lot of these drivers that are up at the front of the field right now, our top four, all down pit road on either lap 181 or lap 81 or lap 82 out there on the speedway. Those guys, they may have to come back down pit side. They may have to make another pit stop out there on the speedway. They roll around that 3 ride. It's a tough break there for Mark Beverly. Beverly does go a lap down, has some heavy rear end damage on that Budweiser number 3 machine after bringing out a couple caution flags ago, getting tied up between himself and that number 5 rider, second place driver now out there on the racetrack. They're battling there for the 4th spot. Unfortunately, they made contact. He went around, hard contact into the outside fence. That truck heavily damaged. We're trying to keep on rolling out there on the speedways. We did see Jason LePan make a unscheduled pit stop there. LePan came down pit road at lap 119. I do believe he did potentially throw on a set of fresh tires onto that 20 truck. So just trying to play that strategy again there for LePan, hoping to see this kind of cycle back around, see everyone that's out in front have to come back down pit side. As here you go, Nick Gardner heads down pit road. So here comes that Celsius 27. He's got to eat that bullet. He's got to come down pit side here in that 27 machine. And now we see Chris Gilbert down pit road as well. So one of these drivers that pitted there around lap 80, trying to play that strategy game themselves, trying to get a quick caution flag there after the last yellow, now not getting one, and now kind of sitting ducks out there on the speedway, and probably going to want to come down pit lane. But for some of them, the strategy's not going to work out again. Oh man, this is the 3rd time tonight this has happened. 3rd time tonight that we start to see some of these drivers make these green flag pit stops, and the caution flag flies. And unfortunately, that's going to trap a bunch of these drivers, potentially a lap down or multiple laps down out there on the racetrack. As, oh man, looks at 16 right, just trying to come down pit road right here as well. 21, trying to stay out of them there, and then the 31 of Robert McDonald comes up into Robert Howard right there. Obviously, some trucks getting a little checked up here, seeing some drivers try to head down pit road, and unfortunately, the ROMs are going to come together out there on the racetrack as Robert McDonald down low, sees the gap, unfortunately, gets in there. The innovative number 50 ride, he gets turned up the racetrack and right into the lap there of Brandon Eastman. Eastman nowhere to go in that body armor number 12 ride. Hopefully, that truck has some good body armor on it, but unfortunately, it's made out of only sheet metal, and that thing folds like a crumpled piece of paper right there. And unfortunately, some heavy damage for not only him but for that 50 ride out there on the racetrack. Is another caution flag during some of these green flag pit stops. Really going to make things more interesting here, as now we do see things kind of cycle back around. LePan looking for the wave around, the 16 looking for the wave around, open to try to get back onto the lead lap, or at least into a 1 lap down situation for Josh Ely, Brian Chu, and Kevin Winker. K-Dub there in position number 3. Now, they kind of hit that strategy pretty good. They're going to get a lot of track position here, as they're now our race leaders. Josh Ely in the Dirt Track Junkies number 83 ride. He's out in front. Brian Chu, who went around and brought out that first caution flag on lap number 1 of the day, now rolls there in second. And K-Dub, Kevin Winker, who started all the way back in 30th, now rolls in position number 3. It's Jeremy Lucy. He'll be back there in 4th. Zach Michael going to come out in 5th. Nicholas Snyder back in that 6th position with Brad Lane, Joshua Ledoux, Tyson Pankow, Nate Maurer back on the lead lap here. He was able to get that lucky dog, the free pass. Now he's going to go to the tail end of the field for that 971 ride, so he'll be back a little farther. But you see Brandon Deming, Nathaniel Ostrowiski, and Koschersberger there. Koschersberger in that 13th position once he rolls around this number 971 ride. And then we see Will Klein, Brett Summers, Chris Gilbert, Nick Gardner back there in 19th. Now, Gardner is scored a lap down. Same with Chris Gilbert out there as well. So a couple of these drivers still a lap down out there on the racetrack. And for some of them, they were out in front leading this race, having a good run, just needed to kind of keep things pointed in the right direction. Unfortunately, now all of a sudden, they are back deeper in the field and down a lap out there, man. Going to have to hope for a couple quick caution flags and hope to get themselves back onto the lead lap here this afternoon. As Josh Ely out in front, he's going to get ready for this restart as the lap down traffic goes to the rear of the field. The lead lap drivers come up to the front, all except for our free pass driver in that 971 machine of Nate Maurer. Maurer back there in the 17th spot. Now he's kind of deeper in the field here. He's got a lot of lap traffic. He's going to have to try to get around it. Drivers that made additional pit stops and now the wave arounds here back behind him is Josh Ely down through corner number 3. Down to corner number 4 for what could be our final restart of the day. Ely looking to try to put himself up and into victory lane with only 23 more laps of racing action here this afternoon. As the green flag quickly out into the air, the 83, that Dirt Track Junkies ride, leads us down into corner number 1. They're 2 wide, almost 3 wide, down into the first corner here as Brian Chu trying to hold on to that number 51 right now. You see K-Dub Kevin Winker, he's trying to hold on to it as well as look out, contact back there behind him. Brett Summers turned around and into the inside fence. Caution flag back out there onto the racetrack. A quick yellow flag here. Oh man, Brett Summers. Unfortunate break here for that Boston Web Marketing number 7 ride. This looks like rolling down low, coming out of the corner, just loses that rear end. The truck steps out and around on him, washes down into the inside wall. Truck can stop there on the racetrack, and that's where we see that caution flag fly there for Brett Summers. And another quick caution flag as cautions breeding cautions here in this one is Dimitri Curtis coming in, showing the love over there on Twitch as well. Dimitri coming in with that Prime sub over there, that Amazon Prime gifted sub over there on Twitch, man. I appreciate that, brother, coming in now, being a subscriber and part of the Peacemaker sub club over there on the Twitch live stream. I appreciate that, my boy, coming in with the love here this afternoon. Not only showing the love over on Facebook, in YouTube, but also going over now and showing the love over on Twitch as well, man. I appreciate that, my boy. All right, another restart, another opportunity for drivers to try to run that strategy, as that's what Bruce says, strategy. Yes, and potential major playoff implications out there on the speedway for some of these drivers, as there's a lot of strategy, a lot of hurt feelings probably, a lot of drivers that are probably, kicking themselves in the butt for, maybe trying to use that strategy a little bit too early out there on the speedway. And for some of them, it's put them a lap down or multiple laps down out there on the racetrack. And I do believe potentially Chris Gilbert. Yeah, it looks like Gilbert going to get that wave around. So the free pass going to the 45 right there. So Gilbert will get back onto the lead lap. Nick Gardner, he's open for another quick caution flag, as he would love to get that wave around here himself. Same with Tim Blankenbeckler, looking to try to get himself back onto the lead lap. Jason LePan, Alex Pelican, a lot of these drivers all looking for some wave rounds, looking to try to get back into the action here this evening. Being stuck back there a lap down, definitely not the place that they want to be, especially for that 20 ride, as Jason LePan, qualified in the top spot and had a great run, had a great race going until some of these pit strategies unfortunately came back to bite him in the butt and have put him a couple laps down out there on the racetrack here a couple times today. And now Nick Gardner in that same boat for another one of our race leaders throughout the evening, stuck back there in 19th, a lap down on the speedways. We'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to green flag racing, and another caution flag means that we inch a little bit closer here to our checkered flag with only 20 laps left to go. Down across the line, we'll see that green flag come back out the next time around, so we'll see only 19 laps left in this race. 19 laps left to figure out who will pick up the win here in the Friends for Pets Juke Joint Support Local Music 150 here this afternoon. as the racing action. It's not over yet, man. We can still see, additional laps be added here today as well. It really wouldn't surprise me, that short track racing action. We could definitely see a couple of attempts at NASCAR overtime here this afternoon, and we can see some of these caution flags continue to keep on popping up here over these next 19 laps. This driver is going to be giving it everything they got, trying to take every single run, and the blocks are going to be happening. Drivers going to be moving around the racetrack, and unfortunately, that's where we tend to see a lot of contact and a lot of issues out there on the racetrack, and drivers going around, drivers getting spun, and caution flags being thrown. So we'll have to wait and see how this one plays out, as here we go. Back down through corner number 3 and 4, down through the Geico restart zone. The 83 rider, Josh Ely, a great launch right there, quickly clears that 34 ride, but man, Brian Chu is right on that pedal as well, and he sticks right to the back bumper of our race leader. Now here comes Nicholas Snyder. Snyder trying to put himself back up into victory lane here this afternoon. It's gained up. Kevin Winker, not the restart he was hoping for. Then 42 truck quickly slides back a few spots there on that restart. Now trying to hang on to the 8th position as a couple of drivers down low. Nathaniel Ostrowski, Tyson Pankow blow right on around him. Now here comes Bobby Blair around him as well, and for K-Dub, he's sliding backwards in a quick hurry. It's Josh Ely out in front, leading this race. Washes up off the racetrack right there, though. Here comes that 34 ride. Zach Michael down low, looking to try to take this race lead away from the 83. Brian Chu right there as Nicholas Snyder trying to hold on to position number 4. Brad Lane potentially looking to try to take that spot away from him here as he was looking to the outside of that 5 ride. As contact here at the front of the field, look out, Josh Ely getting sideways there down through corner number 1, and unfortunately had to roll into that throttle, lose a ton of momentum. It's like all the way back now into that 6th position, and Zach Michael gave a little bit of a bump and run right there, and Michael now out in front, leading this race is Brian Chu there in 2nd. Nick Snyder up into 3rd as he's trying to hunt them down, looking to see if he can put himself into the winner's circles here today. Brad Lane there in 4th with Brandon DeMay there in 5th. Nathaniel Ostrowski, Josh Ely back in 7th. Tyson Pankow there in position number 8. He's trying to hold off that 75 ride of Bobby Blair. As right here we see a couple of those Rage Power Sports rides and a couple of the Dirt Track Junkies machines all right there together. And you throw in that Tech Warrior number 19 machine of Ed Goshersberger. Goshersberger trying to race his way inside the top 10. He's able to make that pass over Jeremy Lucy. Lucy slides back into position number 11 as William Klein there in 12th. John McCullich there in position number 13. Nate Maurer back in 14th, and Joshua Ledoux there in position number 15 on the racetrack. He gets a little bit loose right there, almost washes down into the inside fence. Luckily enough, able to catch it there as K-Dub, Kevin Winker continuing to slide backwards here. Winker all the way back into 16th. Chris Gilbert almost catching him here, looking to try to make that pass and get around him as he gets a little loose there himself. Gets up into the outside fence at corner number 2, but we keep it clean and green. No caution flag, and that's exactly what Zach Michael wants to see as he's out in front here. A solid 1 second gap, 1.1 seconds between himself and Brian Chu. Now Chu, Nicholas Snyder, Brad Lane, maybe a little strategy calls coming out of him here. That 34 ride on the throttle starting to pull away, but potentially burning his equipment up, potentially getting a lot of wear and tear onto this 34 ride, and we could see him start to fall back into the collapse of those drivers back there behind him. So we'll have to wait and see how these tires hold up for him on this final run. There's only 12 more laps left to go. They head down the back straightaway into corner number 3, nice and easy down and out of corner number 4. And for the 34, we see only 11 more laps of racing action here from Dover International Speedway. It is the track, the Monster Mile here this afternoon. Miles the Monster, he's claimed quite a few drivers here, had quite a few issues, a few caution flags where drivers just went around, lost it, coming out of the corners here at Dover. That is definitely the name of the game, just trying to keep yourself going in the right direction, and obviously trying to hit that pit cycle and those pit strategies perfectly. And for a lot of our top drivers here this afternoon, not getting the qualifying or not getting the runs that they were hoping for, and not seeing, all these pit cycles kind of cycle through, seeing a lot of caution flags after, a handful or a couple of handfuls of drivers made those green flag pit stops. Unfortunately, they are now stuck down deeper in the field here. And for some of these other guys, that was definitely a big benefactor of their day, as they were able to just kind of keep themselves out there on the racetrack, rolling a little longer than everybody else. And after, some of those drivers started to make those pit stops, They're able to roll around them, gain that track position, and keep them locked down there on the lap down. And right now, we see some of them just trying to hang on to their car, trying to keep them pointed in the right direction here. We saw Kevin Wanker gain job sliding backwards there after restarting back in, the third, fourth position. That 42 ride all the way back into 16th now on the racetrack, just trying to hang on to that ride as he's going to keep himself rolling out there on the speedway. Brett Summers running into some more issues out there in that 7 machine. He's pointing the wrong direction here, down on the apron. No caution flag as of yet, as he is still down on the apron. The car hasn't came back out onto the racetrack yet, and I do believe that will potentially save us from seeing the yellow flag out there on the racetrack. We'll have to wait and see, as he's still down on the apron. Looks like he's going to get that car pointed back in the right direction. Keep on rolling out there, so no yellow flag. Good break for a lot of these drivers up in the front of the field, but for that Boston Web marketing ride, a tough break and a tough evening for him here, especially later on. And for this number 34 ride, as Zach Michael, he came here to play this afternoon, man. He timed this one perfectly, and this 34 ride coming to life here now with some fresh air on the nose of that truck, and he has opened up a pretty sizable gap as Nicholas Snyder has worked himself back up into position number 2 on the racetrack, as Brian Chu sliding all the way back now into the 8th position. But Snyder there in second, 2 seconds now between himself and Zach Michael is down across the start finish line. There's only 5 laps left to go. 5 laps left in this race. Does Nicholas Snyder have enough time here to try to hunt down our race leader? Can Zach Michael hang on for 5 more laps? Do we see a late race caution flag come out and potentially steal this one away from one of these drivers at the front of the field? Brad Lane up into 3rd here. A great run for him. Bobby Blair there in 4th. You see Nathaniel Ostrowiecki trying to take position number 5 away from Brandon Dominguez. Tyson Pankow in that 3rd. Track Junkies 91 ride rolls there in 7th. And Koshersberger there in 8th, with Brian Chu and Josh Ely rounding out our top 10 out there on the speedway. William Klein back in 11th, but it's all Zach Michael here late in this race. 1.8 seconds, almost 1.9 seconds, still separating himself and Nicholas Snyder as he rounds corner number 4 down across the line. Only 3 more laps of racing action here from Dover International Speedway in the Friends for Pets, the Juke Joint Support Local Music 150 here from Dover International Speedway in the HCK Beagles Racing League. The 34 truck rounds corner number 3, and out of 4, he will see 2 more laps left to go here this afternoon. So only 2 more laps left here in this one. He's just hoping to see that caution flag. He's been able to keep that 2-second gap between himself and Snyder. Snyder trying to work himself around some lap traffic here, is unfortunately for Kyle Van Tassel in that Ridge Power Sports ride. He'll go another lap down there, but for Nicholas Snyder, he's over 2 seconds back and down through corner number 4. No caution flags as the white flag will fly here in this one. Zach Michael, 1 more lap around here for the Cummins Rush Trucking Center's number 34 ride as he rounds corner number 2, and for the final time here this afternoon in the Support Local Music 150 powered by Friends for Pets in the Juke Joint here this afternoon at Dover International Speedway. He'll lead us down through 3, and out of 4, it's Zach Michael who will pick up the checkered flag here in this one. And Miles the Monster could not grab him, could not slow him down here this evening, and Zach Michael will pull himself up into the winner's circle here in Dover, picking up the checkered flag, able to run away with this one after that late race caution flag. Snyder there in 2nd, Brad Lane there in position number 3. Great run there for Lane, started back in 18th, up inside the top 3. Bobby Blair started in 16th, he's there in 4th, and for Nathaniel Ostrowiecki, he started back in 31st. He comes home with the top 5 run, but it's all Zach Michael. As Michael able to get it done, and he's going to get ready to burn down the house here on the front straightaway as he's able to capture this checkered flag and put himself up into victory lane here at Dover International Speedway in the Friends for Pets, the Juke Joint Support Local Music 150 here this afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up for our race winner, Zach Michael, as Zach gets it done here in this one, man. What an absolutely amazing run and effort out there on the racetrack for that 34 ride. All evening long, and some timely caution flags, some good strategy there late in the race, and he puts himself up into the winner's circle, man. Let's get ready to pull him and the rest of our top three up and into the broadcast booth here this afternoon for some post-race interviews. Post-race interviews coming up next here, ladies and gentlemen, so don't go anywhere, so you don't want to miss out and not wanting to miss what these drivers got to say, what they're feeling out there on the speedway after that crazy run. We'll wait for them to jump into the podium finishers waiting room there. We do see Brad Lane jumped up in there already. Let's see, as we wait for these drivers to jump into the podium finishers lane here, let's see if we can get Brad Lane. He's down pit side as that 34 ride still celebrating the race win. We'll pull Brad in for his post-race interview. Hey, Brad, it's Aaron up here on Peacemaker Broadcasting Booth. Did you get a copy?
Yes, sir. Got you.
Brad, man, a solid run, a solid drive for that one machine here this afternoon. Obviously starting kind of middle ground there, middle pack. We saw you quickly racing your way up towards the front of the field, working yourself through that top 10 here. And then some craziness out there. A couple caution flags, but a couple of those, middle of the race green flag runs. We start to see those, green flag pit stops getting underway. Untimely caution flags for the drivers that were, headed down pit side are already making those green flag pit stops. And kind of getting trapped back there, a lap or 2 laps down out there on the racetrack. Luckily enough, you weren't one of those drivers that got kind of trapped in that cycle, and here you are pulling yourself up into position number 3.
Yeah, I had a terrible qualifying run. My second lap was going to be my hot lap, and I got loose and had to bail. But a lot of strategy going on, a lot of cautions, was throwing the different strategies both ways. But I got lucky. I was coming down pit road, about to hit the commitment cone right before 2 cautions came out, and I was able to bail and able to keep my track position and not go a lap or 2 down. So I kind of got lucky there.
Yeah, definitely got a little bit lucky there on that one, as we saw a lot of drivers affected by that here tonight, including some of the drivers that were at the front of the field, like Nick Gardner and Jason LePan, and even Nick Snyder there ended up with a penalty and had to go to the rear of the field and try to race his way back up there. But late in this race, obviously some of those strategies coming into hand here, and you're able to just race your way back up inside the top 3 late in this race. Obviously, I'm sure you guys wanted to see another caution flag there later on so you could get another shot at maybe that 34 ride of Zach Michael, but that final restart, he was just shot out of the can and ran away with this one and left you and Snyder and the rest of the field battling back there for position number 2.
Yeah, I was actually not wanting the caution. I was content with 3rd. I knew that if Nick couldn't catch him, I was definitely not going to get him, so I was content with 3rd.
Absolutely. Once you kind of get to that point, sometimes you just kind of ride out there and take what you can get. And here tonight, you're able to come home with a solid 3rd place run. Brad, who would you like to thank for such a great run and great drive out there at Dover International Speedway?
I just like HCK for the inviting me to the league. My teammates Nick, Chris, those 2 guys, we've been racing for years, and they pulled me over here. So it's really competitive, really hard. Races are a little longer for me. But I'm enjoying it, and I appreciate, the broadcast.
Absolutely, brother. Well, a heck of a run, heck of a drive here tonight in that race line. Number 1 ride as you come home in position number 3. Brad, we can't wait to see you back out there on the racetrack next Tuesday, and maybe right back up here into the broadcast booth, maybe 1 spot better or 2 spots better, and up into victory lane yourself.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your night.
You too. Thanks.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our 3rd place finisher, Brad Lane. Brad coming home there in position number 3. Solid run right there for that number 1 ride. Is still don't see our race winner into the broadcast waiting room, so we'll wait for him. We'll pull in our 2nd place finisher here, Nicholas Snyder. So our 2nd place driver here, Nick Snyder, coming home in that 2nd spot. Let's pull him up here into the booth. Hey, Nick, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
Yes, sir.
Nick, man, another solid run, another great drive for you here this afternoon as you're able to pull that 5 ride up here into position number 2 tonight, man, after what was a hard-fought race, obviously battling your way up through the field towards the front of the pack there. Then all of a sudden, a couple of these caution flags, a couple untimely yellows down pit side, and you kind of get trapped in one of them. You end up hitting pit road just as that caution flag was coming out. You still made the pit stop, and unfortunately, iRacing sends you back to the rear of the field there, making that, technically a pit stop on a closed pit lane. and you were able to battle back from that and raced your way back up through a lot of fast cats. And here late in this race, just trying to battle your way back up to the front. You make some contact there with the 3 right of Mark Beverly, brings in another caution flag, but that allows you to slide right back up into position number 2. And unfortunately, just seemed like you didn't have enough there late in this race to hunt down that 34 ride.
Yeah, first and foremost, I just want to apologize to Mark. He's always racing me cleanly, and it was getting towards, before making that green flag pit cycle, and I just was trying to get the most positions that I can and just, side drafted too hard there. So I just want to apologize to him. Like I said, he raced me cleanly, so, it's the only respect that I could do back to him. Other than that, yeah, that caution kind of set us back some. A little bit frustrated with that, but hey, that's iRacing for you. But all in all, it was a good fight back to second, I think. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. A great fight and a great drive coming back into second here this afternoon. Backing up a great run last week here with another solid performance this afternoon. Nick, who would you like to thank again here tonight for another great drive out there on the racetrack?
Thank everybody taking their Tuesday night to watch the broadcast. So hopefully, it was a good show. I know it was for my seat trying to battle back through the field. But, I'd like to thank Snyder Bees Racing, CMP Carrillo, Ian Williams, Billy Bees, Julie, just everyone a part of my real life team on the sprint side. So looking forward to getting there Saturday at Hendry. So, and then, obviously thank you for taking your time out to broadcast the race too, Aaron. So appreciate you for all that you do, and looking forward to next Tuesday.
Absolutely, brother. Well, we can't wait to see you back out there on the racetrack, Nick. Congrats on the second place run here tonight, and hopefully we'll see you right back up here in the booth, maybe one spot better again and back into victory lane yourself.
Thank you, sir.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our second place finisher, Nicholas Snyder. Snyder coming home there in second as we're going to get ready to pull in our race winner here this afternoon. Zach Michael waiting down patiently. Pit side here. Let's pull him up into the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Hey, Zach, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
Yeah, what's going on, buddy?
Not much, Zach, man. What a run. What a race. Take us back through this one, man, as you're able to capture that checkered flag and pull yourself up into the Dover International Speedway victory lane here this afternoon, man. Take us back through it and what's going through your mind right now as you're parked down there in victory lane.
Well, I mean, I got lucky. I think that was a lot of it because I think every yellow that come out tonight was about a lap before I pitted, and that last one come out at right just the perfect time. I was about to peel off, and it got me track position, got me ahead of a lot of fast guys, and then I beat Nick off pit road, which was huge, and then I just got through the traffic quicker. I ran into the 83, so I apologize to him. It was a 0X. It looked like netcode on the replay, but I never want to race anybody that way. I guess it's just at least on my end, it just looked like a unfortunate side effect of racing on the internet. But yeah, it was fun. Track position was key. You had to be out front, clean air. I mean, this thing felt like it had 500 counts more downforce as soon as I got in clean air. Like it was just gone, and it was a whole different racetrack out front for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Once you got that race lead away, you just ran away with this one. Just hoping and praying not to see another caution flag and another opportunity for drivers to work your outside or your inside out there on the racetrack. And here you are able to hold them all off, not seeing that yellow flag late in this race and able to put yourself up and into victory lane. And as he talked about those caution flags out there on the racetrack, obviously, yeah, we saw a lot of drivers, unfortunately, making the wrong call there on the strategy here this afternoon. You and a lot of others staying out a little bit longer. Those guys that were trying to short pit out there, unfortunately, all of a sudden seeing those yellow flags come out, either just heading down pit side and going a lap or two down, or going multiple laps down out there after getting collected there and finishing their pit stops. And unfortunately for a lot of those cats, that just kind of put them in a hole that they can never recover from. But for you guys, it opened up the door for a little bit more strategy calls there towards the end of this race and making those calls, knowing that you're only going to give up track position to maybe a couple handful of drivers that were off sequence to you. And as you said, worked yourself through that traffic, got up to the front of the field there, got that fresh air, and ran away with the checkered flag here tonight, man. Take us back, through those final laps and what was going through your mind, just hoping to not see that caution flag come back out. What was going to be your strategy there if you did see that yellow?
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, first things first, I did not want a caution. I mean, the race was over if there wasn't a caution, and that's how it played out, fortunately. But no, I mean, we were out of tires. We had fuel to the end, so it was going to be just if we got a yellow, stay out. Hope you don't spin the tires, because that was something that bit a few guys tonight, and it was just going to be go like hell, see what we got, because I think me and Nick Snyder and even were pretty similar on speed, but like I said, it was just all about track position. So at the very least, I'd have been restarting P1 for sure, so that would have been beneficial, but doesn't matter because the caution didn't come out. So yeah, no, it's
Absolutely.
cool. This has been a fun first few races. It's been kind of a little bit of up and down, pit strategy working, not working, and I mean tonight just everything went exactly the way it needed to, and here we are.
Absolutely works out perfectly for you here tonight as you're able to pull that 34 ride up and into victory lane here in the HCK Beagles Racing League here at Dover International Speedway. Zach, who'd you like to thank, man, for such a great run and great race out there on the speedway and being able to put yourself up in victory lane?
Well, I mean, first the guys at HCK for putting the league together and letting me come run with them. A couple of my buddies invited me to come race. I said, "Hey, I'm looking for a league that's running trucks and's got some good guys to run with." And this is what they called out. They said, "Hey, you should join these guys. They're just starting a season, so got to thank them for putting on these races and doing a good job with what they do." And like I said, most of the races have been pretty clean, have been pretty fun, but. Yeah, I mean, other than that, I just got to thank my internet for not going out, my computer for not going out. I mean, everything held together.
Absolutely, it all held together for you here tonight as you pulled that 34 up and into victory lane. Zach, congratulations on the checkered flag here this afternoon. Hopefully, many more to come here on the season for you and potentially in your hunt for that championship here in a few short months from now. Zach, congrats on the great run, and we can't wait to see you back out there on the racetrack, maybe right back up here in victory lane next Tuesday.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Thanks, man. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to have much for them at Chicago or not. Street courses aren't my game, but we get racetracks like Dover, Chicagoland. We're going to be dangerous.
Absolutely. Well, hopefully we see some of those in the playoffs for you and hopefully give you a good run for trying to get that championship here in your first season with the HCK Beagles.
Yep. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your night. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our race winner, Zach Michael. Is Zach picking up the checkered flag here this afternoon, man? What a run, what a drive there for that number 34 ride. Absolutely amazing racing action here this evening in the Friends for Pets Support Local Music 150 here this evening. The Juke Joint Friends for Pets Support Local Music 150. Absolutely amazing race, absolutely amazing action out there on the speedway here at Dover International Speedway. And these guys put on a heck of a race for us as, man, unfortunately, that's going to do it for us here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We can't thank you guys enough for tuning in. Everyone coming in with the likes, the comments, the shares. We appreciate each and every single one of you. Any of our new followers or subscribers over on Facebook and Twitch and YouTube, man, I can't thank you guys enough or appreciate you guys enough for becoming a part of the Peacemaker family here today. And if you haven't already, it's not too late to do those things. Hit that like button for us. Even if you're rewatching the broadcast, if you're, we're not live anymore and you're watching to this point, man, still hit that like button. Drop a couple comments for us in the comments section. Make sure you guys hit that follow, subscribe button. Make sure you guys turn those bell notifications on. That way you never miss it when we go live here on Peacemaker Gaming. But we'll see you guys back in action here tomorrow night as the Dirt Warrior Racing League's Wednesday night street fights, Dirt Street Stocks, back in action tomorrow evening. Going to be a ton of fun. Going to be some great racing action, and we can't wait to get the Wednesday night Dirt Street Stocks back rolling out there on the racetrack tomorrow evening just after 8 o'clock Eastern Time. But thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for tuning in. And I'll see y'all later. Peace out for now, baby. Peace out for now, ladies and gentlemen.
Friends for Pets!
dreams within our sight. Asphalt heroes in the fight. Peacemakers gaming life so bright. Rev it up, feel the pace. Speed hounds in grace. Feel the thrill, feel the chase. Victory is our only place. Thrill the place. Thrill the place. Throttle down, no time to waste. In this high octane haste. Feel the thrill, feel the chase. Victory is our only place. Throttle down, no time to waste. In this high octane haste. Every corner, every taste leads us closer to first place. Throttle down, no time to waste. In this high octane haste. In this high octane haste. Every corner, every taste leads us closer to first place. Under lights the engine scream. This is more than just a dream. Through the asphalt like a beam. Racers' hearts with fervor gleam. In this game we find our might. Push the pedal like the night. With each lap our spirits flight. Racing on with all our might.